good, yo? What's good, yo? What's good? Welcome back to another episode of the Henny Nights podcast. As always, I'm your host, your brother Jay White. First things first, I know. It seems like I'm only doing like one episode a month. I promise that is not the case. Life be lifing in a good way. In a good way. We racking up wins. We in the winning season here. And so I've been busy a little bit more than usual. So I'm still trying to balance this out. Um Lining up some guests for the podcast. A whole bunch of good things, I swear. It will remain the Henny Nights podcast will remain a bi-weekly podcast, unless something changes where I only decide to drop, once a month, if that's going to be for the betterment of the podcast. But for the most part, I continue on planning to do 2 podcast shows a month. So, and technically, I'm in that 2-week time frame for dropping this podcast, I think. So, a nigga is on time. But anyway, welcome back to another episode of the Henny Nights podcast. As always, I'm your host, your brother Jay White. Church announcements. I'm running a play on Henny Nights merch. Black Friday is right around the corner, and it's not even really like Black Friday anymore. Like, companies start throwing sales out the week before Thanksgiving. So I figured, fuck it, we ball. Why not do the same for me? So a sale on all Henny Nights merch going on right now. Right now, as you listening to this podcast, you feel me? So make sure you go to the link tree that's in the show notes, and then you go down to the Henny Nights merch tab. You click that, it'll take you to where all the tees are, the hoodies are, the crew necks, any Henny Nights merch outside of the Henny Gang jerseys, which if y'all want me to bring those back, I will. Let me know. But for the other Henny Nights merch, like the tees and the crew necks, it's all there. So when you check out, make sure you type in Henny STL, HENNY STL, to get a discount on Henny Nights merch. That's Henny STL, and you'll get that discount at checkout. As always, I appreciate y'all rocking the tees. I appreciate y'all support rocking anything Henny Nights related. Appreciate that, man. So yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. Also, wherever you're listening to this podcast, make sure you like, rate, whatever it is you do on your specific DSP. Subscribe too. Make sure you subscribe. Don't just listen. Actually tap in, become part of the Henny Gang, and share this with your people, because I greatly appreciate the support. Even when it ain't a new show that's out, y'all go back and listen to the old content. So I appreciate that. So riding solo on this episode, to catch y'all up with what's going on with me. Like I said, it's winning season around here. We win. Things are going really good, embracing, as I said on the previous episode, embracing, this new chapter, or this new chapter of just being older, getting older, and all the emotions that come with it, good, bad, or indifferent. Niggas is changing, niggas is evolving, and it's lovely to see. And I feel like that's the same for, all the homies around me right now. All my niggas around me. We're changing and evolving and doing really, really dope things. And the same goes for me. The gig that I started, back in July, is going really, really good. It's placed me in a position that someone called me an advocate and connector. And I'm in that space right now, and it's holding true for sure. I'm in a great space, a great position to help impact um, the community, learning a lot of great things, not being too hard on myself because I don't know everything that there is to know, but that's the beauty of life, that you'll continue to learn, continue to be better, continue to receive new information that'll change your thought process on things. And so I'm in a really, really dope space right now. And I went on a mini world tour. I'm in on a mini world tour. I went to Orlando for the first fucking time with the homie. Shout out Randon and the gang. I went to Disney World. I went to Epcot for the first time. Orlando was interesting because the traffic is trash as fuck. With the resort right there, and I think because of, I don't know what the weather down there is typically like all year round, but it seemed like we were in the right smack in the middle of fucking vacation season or whatever for it being October, because it was traffic every fucking day just trying to get to from the airport. It took a nigga like an hour and a half to 2 hours to get to where we were staying. But I wasn't there in Orlando real long enough to go to Epcot, which is dope. It is definitely a family vacation type vibe. I can see how like we just did the one part of the Disney resort landscape or whatever, but I can see how expensive it is for you to try and hit every fucking thing down there. And then on top of that, you got the nerd that had kids and want to bring family. Like, yeah, niggas gotta have that bread for sure. But it was dope. It was dope, man. It was a quick turnaround, you know, because the following week, a nigga went back to Vegas. Nigga went back to Sin City. And I learned my lesson from the last time I went to Sin City. I went back in 2018 for the first time with the niggas, and we was out there for like 3.5 days, and that was 3.5 too many motherfucking days. So made sure to make this trip only 2 days. You know, that city that never sleeps type shit. That shit is real. Motherfuckers be down there gambling they social security checks, disability checks, 401s, any type of investment when they can get their cash and go gamble, they be on it. And it's popping. No matter what time of day, it is always popping. But I learned from my lessons, and I made that trip. Now I didn't just go out to Vegas on a humbug. I went out there to see my goat, one of my goats. Of course, you got Michael Jackson or whatever, you know, the goat, the goat. Um, Hove is my favorite rapper. Another goat. I got to see Beyonce this summer, a goat, and I got to see another goat and going to see Usher Raymond. And it was dope. It was dope as fuck. If you he's getting ready to wrap up his residency here shortly, but like if you can find a way to swing that shit and to go see him perform, well, he's getting ready to most likely go on tour. So you will be able to see him do what he does for sure. But the residency, bro, like we tried to make this happen back in the summertime, and it was, even with like a couple months notice, it was still too goddamn expensive to just do it, like buying buy your room, buy your ticket, buy your flight all separately. the best thing that we could have did was um buy the package. So in the package, you get, your tickets. You get your room at the one of the hotels in the MGM brand. Um, you get your stay at the rooms or whatever. And then we also got passes to that after party. I put that in air quotes because it wasn't like Usher was there or anything like that. But you get passes to the after party that was inside the Park MGM, and that was the hotel that we all decided to stay at because it just made the most sense. The venue is attached to the building, the club is in the building, like you ain't really got to go nowhere. The strip is right there. You can walk the strip, but everything you need is going to be right there in your hotel area. And so, yeah, man, the show, and I say this always when motherfuckers try to make the comparison. There is no comparison, bro. Quantity doesn't mean quality. And I say that because the comparison mugs try to make is between Usher and Chris Brown. And like I get it. Like as far as being close to like of course what MJ is, right? It's only really those guys, right? That do it. Now Chris Brown is a better dancer, I feel, than Usher. I'll give him that. But bruh, stop like almost a 2 hour set of just banger after banger after banger after banger after banger. And then like the actual showmanship is immaculate, bruh. It's immaculate. Like there's a reason why your favorite celebrities are going out there to see him. Now, some of it is for like clout, like motherfuckers going to see him in concert and like not knowing the words to any of the songs. That is like insane to me. Um, but beyond that, there's a reason why everybody's like, you got to go to the show. Clips are going viral of celebrities. Old girl that come up doing to dance on the stripper pole that's yeet the fuck up. Like, yeah, bruh, it's real. And I hope he brings that on his regular US tour. He might even do a world tour because what's gonna happen is he's gonna wrap up his residency. The Super Bowl's in February. He's gonna do the halftime show. It's not gonna be nearly as like adult like that. But then the last few performances of the Super Bowl, their streams have gone up tremendously. So it's going to get buzz around him. He's going to drop a new album. That's already been announced. He's dropping a new album around that time as well, and he's going to announce the tour. It's perfect marketing. It's perfect marketing. Have all these eyes, you to build up all this goodwill, you to built up all this steam behind your Vegas residency. Everybody's saying it's the shit. Now you getting ready to go on the national stage with like shit, probably 100 million homes watching the Super Bowl, the halftime show. People that don't even watch football are going to be tuned in to see Usher perform. They're going to see this performance. They're going to get reminded that this man got bangers. His streams go up and he's like, oh yeah, I'm dropping new music too. And he go on tour. Like, so you're going to be able to experience, it might not be the same as the residency, but you're going to get to experience this man go out on tour and perform those hits. And he's going to have new material, which he has new material out already. He has Good with Summer Walker. He has Glue. What else does he have? He got the boyfriend joint that he did with um he, had Kiki Palmer in. Yeah. I don't know if y'all can hear that. I hope y'all couldn't hear that. Anyway, um, he's got, he's staying out there. It's gonna be dope. But I say all that to say the show, the show was dope. The vibes was dope. Um, we kicked it. We kicked it tough, maybe a little too tough, maybe a little too hard. But like when you're in Vegas, that's to be, expected. Um, and yeah, they're building up. We went and saw the Sphere, that big ass dome in the middle of Vegas, that projection screen that's shaped like a dome. I don't even know what the correct term for it is, but um, saw that in person. They're in the process of, I think it's Formula One, so they're building a track through Vegas right now that wraps around the strip and all that. Um, that's gonna be dope. Wanted to tour the Raiders arena, but they weren't giving tours on the day I was there, and they were busting heads for them as well. But like, yeah, they're building up out there. And like I said, 2 days was perfect. Anything over 2 days is crazy. In my opinion, you don't need to be out there like that. Well, like I said, when I went out there in 2018, motherfuckers didn't sleep. It was club. It was club. Go back to the room. Try and sleep. Wake up. Go figure out what you're gonna eat. Bounce around. Sightsee. Then go to another club, and then do it all the next day. And then then it so happens to be a pool party or some shit that you fall into, and then you come back to the room, get ready to go kick it at another club. Like niggas didn't sleep. But 2 days is enough for me, man. I'm cool. I got a little nice week long break. Um, I hadn't had any time off really, that wasn't like some holiday shit or whatever. And it was good to just recharge and, re-energize myself for this end of the year push, man. I can't believe that we're almost in 2024. But, we're here. And I'm excited about the new year and all the dope stuff and the blessings that are to come in good health that I'm praying and wishing for everybody. You feel me? So yeah, that's kind of what I've been on. And then I came back, and then when I got back to work, I had some events going on and things I had to finish up, and so yeah, before I knew it, I'm like, damn, I ain't put out a podcast episode, and so here we are. Here we are. So with that being said, you already know. Sometimes when I ride solo, I do Ask Me Anything. And so I posted this on IG, which you need to follow me at IG, J White the Prez. Also, that is going to be in the show notes of the podcast for you to check out. And so I gathered up all these questions and I'm going to answer them on the show. So let me start with this question because it's pertaining to Usher, since I just spoke about going to see him perform. So the question is, what is your favorite Usher song and album? So the real easy layup answer to that would be Confessions, right? And Confessions is like a bomb ass album, start to finish. You can play it through, no skips. For me personally, though, and I feel like it's one of his most slept on albums. My favorite personal album is Here I Stand. Now, the reason I said that is because the album takes me to a specific point in my time, a specific point in my life where I remember exactly where I was and what I was doing when I heard it. And that's typical of me when it comes to like all my favorite songs and albums. They evoke some type of emotion or some type of feeling that just kind of drums up an emotion out of me or something like that, and I can really resonate with it. So for me, it is Here I Stand, because at the time, I think I was like 19, 20 when this album came out, something like that. And so I was, yeah, I was paying the consequences for my actions. I broke up with this chick because I felt like I was getting ready to do some. I wasn't. I knew I was getting ready to do something really, really stupid with another girl, and so I broke up. I broke up with the chick I had been talking to in order to kind of like pursue this other situation. And man, that girl and karma put me through hell. That was like a pivotal what do you want to call it, nexus event in my life where I fucked around and found out the hard way. That girl and that relationship, it's bad when all your friends are like, nigga, what are you doing? And breaking up to getting back together to arguing to like doing the theatrics on social media and just the whole nine. And like most like a couple of the homies, my friends, men and women, were just like, nigga, are you good? Like, why are you like dealing with all this shit? And like, I made my bed and I laid in that motherfucker. Like, I wanted to think with the head that's not on my shoulders, and this is where the fuck it got me. So Here I Stand was like the album during that time that I listened to a lot. Moving Mountains, story of my fucking life. His Mistakes, story of my fucking life. But I say all that to say that I think probably my favorite Usher song, and it kind of flops back and forth depending on the day. But there's a song on there called on Here I Stand called Trading Places. And so that's my shit. Trading Places is my shit. And like I said, it can rotate between that. If I had to go top 3 between like Usher songs, Trading Places, simple things from the Confessions album, and like Hey Daddy. Yeah. Those would probably be my 3 there for sure. And Simple Things is a deep cut from Confessions, you feel me? But I would say probably those 3 would be my top Usher songs, and then my favorite Usher album would be Here I Stand. So yeah, and then Rivals, him and Future, that would be up there too. So I guess 4. I just gave y'all 4. So yeah. Next question that says, and I just answered that. What's the most ridiculous reason you ever ended a relationship? Yeah. And I paid the price. I was talking to this girl and the vibes was right, and I fucking ended the relationship I was in because I wanted to fuck on the chick that I had been talking to. And karma bit me in the ass. I swear. And yeah, I learned a hard way. I learned karma. I learned that situation, that relationship karma that goes around, comes back around shit. I learned that shit early on, bro. And I just like moral compass wise was like, yeah, just always keep it a buck. Keep it a buck. Not saying I always did that when I was younger in my 20s, but that was like my first exposure to that shit for sure. Oh, that and 808s and Heartbreak. That Kanye album too. Those two were like in rotation, heavy rotation, bro. Cause a nigga was going through it. So Far Gone came out during like that time, so that had to be like 2009, 2009 or 10. I think it was 9. Yeah, I played that. I played the fuck out of So Far Gone too. So Far Gone. Drake, man, bruh, comeback season. Um, room for what is it? Room for improvement. So Far Gone. I even give you Thank Me Now and Take Care. Drake, like, bruh, what a fucking time. What in time? Now we got this nigga, big sassy, big sassy era Drake. It's crazy. It is crazy. So, next question. If you could know the absolute truth to one question, what question would you ask? Ooh, what question would I ask? Um, shit. Right now, for me, hmm. So is I'll go with am I finally on the right path? I feel like I've had several detours for sure. And detours, they're not dead ends. You're just taking another route to get to where it is that you want to get to. But um, I've had a couple of things happen, and I'm trying to be better at receiving, you know, um, compliments and feeling like I'm my my seat at tables at certain tables is warranted. But definitely I would like, am I on the right path? And that would cure a lot of thoughts and anxiety for sure. Um so yeah. Do you think social media has improved or ruined personal relationships? Um it could be both. I do think for me personally I think it has given people a false sense of what they perceive is going on with me versus what's actually going on with me. I will say that because it looks one way, not realizing that, I got this, that, and the third. I got real life shit, trials and tribulations, just like you going on. Um, I think people can read into stuff too much. The whole like, is it just social media? It is and it isn't to a certain extent because we didn't see people get beat the fuck up off social media. We know people that should get beat the fuck up off social media. And then also at the same time, you have built a community with people where they're having kids and having career accomplishments or whatever. So it's really hard to say it's just social media when, you know, depending on how long you've been on whatever platform you're on, you've like kind of grown up with people. And so it can, it can to a certain extent. Um, and hopefully, if it does get a little shaky with people that you're really cool with outside of it. You can chop that up and settle the differences or whatever. um I don't think it should get in the way of personal relationships, especially if you got a direct line to that person. But it's not just social media. For everyone that only puts the highlights of what they got going on in life, there are people out there that nah, you gonna get the real. It's a delicate balance too, because sometimes you can fucking overshare, like, ooh shit, like I shouldn't be in the delivery room with you on social media. That's kind of, I feel like that's a private moment. You feel me? But it's a balance. Um and so yeah, it shouldn't ruin it. Shouldn't ruin personal relationships. Um but it can if you let it, I guess. So that's a good question. That's a damn good question. Um let's see. What dating advice would you give to your younger self? Be let me I'm scooting up like y'all can see me. But that question, if I could give dating advice to my younger self, what would it be? Be fucking honest, no matter the consequences. Because I could have saved myself a lot of jumping through hoops and tripping off shit if I was just honest, more honest up front. Deal with whatever blow up is going to come, especially younger, because women at that age, everybody essentially, we don't have the tools, the proper communication tools at a young age. Which this generation might be a little bit better because there are parents now that are more in tune with that and being able to be like, hey, use your words. It's okay to be upset. Here, this is how we deal with conflict, so on and so forth. But you know, not wanting to hurt feelings or deal with somebody that's being upset because I don't want to be uncomfortable. Fuck it. Fuck that. Just be honest. Just be upfront. Because fuck around and learn later in life that is way more appreciated, and that is in a short supply when you're honest upfront. And you probably got a higher chance of shooting your shot and hitting your shot if you are completely transparent up front. So I would definitely tell myself, hey, don't worry about the blowback. Don't worry about all that other shit. Just just do just do you. Just be honest and deal with it. It may make you uncomfortable, but it's cool. If you could go back in time and witness any sporting event live, which one would it be and why? It's a no brainer for me. I would go back to 2011 when the Cardinals won the World Series to be motherfuckers don't understand, bruh. That that shit there. As somebody who worked, you know, for AB at the time, and people travel for World Series games and things like that. So, when I was working at AB, they would, come through. The Texas Rangers fans would come through there and talk shit, woo off the bam. But um, Game 7, bro, Game 7 of the World Series, I was shit faced. I was lit. I was shit faced. I was drunk. Um, Caught myself trying to take 11 shots of Ciroc back to back to back and only made it to 8 before I barfed every goddamn where. But then going to downtown St. Louis on Washington Avenue and people were out in the streets with bar stools and drinking and celebrating and like, I don't, uh, it's undescribable. It's like everybody was on one accord. It was lit. Um, I almost fucked up somebody's motorbike, but he let me slide because he was like, I know niggas won the World Series, and like we're running up and down the street on Wash Ave. It was a vibe, man. It was a fucking vibe. So I would absolutely go back and relive that moment for sure. Because it was crazy. It was love. It was crazy, and it was just niggas was drunk. Niggas was drunk. Have you ever dated someone you met through an unconventional way? I mean, social media, that's unconventional, technically. Um, but other than that, not really. Um, I never got a date from a speed dating event. That's interesting. I would figure that's something I would have checked off like my checklist by now, but I haven't. So yeah, I would say social media. Like I said, Facebook. Uh shit. What was the other one? Not MySpace. There was another one. Not Bebo. Ooh. Oh, Crush Spot. That's what it's called. Crush Spot, Black Planet. Yeah, them two. Them two and Facebook. It was just like it was just easier that way. It was just easier at the time. I mean, we still were going to malls and shit like that and meeting, hopping down on girls and stuff like that. But then, like, yeah, Black Planet, MySpace, Crush Spot, Facebook, it shrunk everything and it just made everything accessible. So, yeah, I would say that's the most inconvenient, or in unconventional way for sure. Let's see. I'm gonna do one more and get the fuck up out of here. Mm, 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 mm. Let's see. What's something that everyone agrees we should change, but somehow it never changes? The fucking algorithm on Instagram. Please, I want to be able to see. I know there's that option to change your timeline to that, but I want to be able to see motherfuckers post on their feed on the timeline in real time. I don't want to see shit 3 days from now or fucking a week ago, shit from a week ago. When I post, I want people to see it in real time. But that shit had never happened because it's tied up in the ad money. And they care more about being able to sell ads and all this other shit than to actually give niggas chronological order for their timeline. That shit still irks me to this day. Like, I guess I'm an old man yelling at the goddamn clouds when it comes to this, but like, yeah, that shit is trash. So I would love to be able to see the people that I follow their stuff in real time. So yeah. But anyway, man, that's the show. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Henny Nice Podcast. Again, make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening to this on. Hit the like button, share with your people, post it yourself. It don't matter, man. I appreciate all the love and support that y'all continue to give me. And make sure y'all tap in with me, man. And so until next time, I'll holler at y'all later.